even on our ambitious targets for renewables, there will be a need, on the estimates we are publishing today, for additional new non-renewable power. We need to use all available low-carbon sources. That is why, Mr. Speaker, we were right last year to end the moratorium on new nuclear power in this country. And in response, energy companies have announced intentions to build 16 gigawatts of new nuclear power. In the spring, we invited comments on the 11 sites that have been nominated for new nuclear, all on or near existing sites. I can tell the House that 10 of 11 sites have been judged as potentially suitable and included in the draft policy statement. The next step will be consultation in the 10 selected sites, as well as nationally. The consultation proposes that the 11th site, Dungeness, is not included in this national policy statement. This is because the government does not believe, following advice from Natural England and others, that a new nuclear power station can be built there without causing an adverse effect on the integrity of the internationally unique ecosystem. Mr. Speaker, under the Habitats Directive, we are obliged to consider alternative nuclear sites. An independent study has suggested that 3, Kings North, Druridge Bay and Alston Ferry, are worthy of further consideration. We have concluded, however, that all of them have serious impediments and none of them is credible for deployment by the end of 2025, the period of the policy statement, nor do we believe they are necessary for our plans for new nuclear. Therefore, we have excluded all of them from being potential sites in the draft policy statement. On waste management, the government is satisfied that on the basis of the science and international experience, effective arrangements to manage and dispose of the waste from new nuclear power stations can be put in place. In addition, today, we are opening consultation on the proposed regulatory justification for 2 different reactor designs. Mr. Speaker, new nuclear is right for energy security and climate change and will be good for jobs too, creating up to 9,000 jobs to build and operate power stations at each site and helping leading companies access the international market. As well as renewables and nuclear, the third part of our low-carbon future is clean fossil fuels. There is no solution to the problem of climate change, either at home or abroad, without a solution to the problem of coal. Cheap and reliable, but the most polluting fuel. Already from the European budget, €180 million has provisionally been offered to assist Hatfield Power Station FIT CCS, and I can confirm that we've received bids from E.ON and Scottish Power for the next stage of the current CCS competition for a post-combustion power station. Early next year, we will allocate the up to £90 million set aside for the bid or bids that will go forward to the detailed design and engineering stage. Our aim, Mr. Speaker, is very clear: for carbon capture and storage to be ready to be deployed 100% on all new coal-fired power stations by 2020. We are determined to ensure that with the right combination of regulation and incentives, we make this happen. So I can confirm that under our new framework published today, there will be no new coal-fired power stations without carbon capture and storage. With immediate effect, to gain development consent, all new coal plant will have to show that it will demonstrate CCS from the outset on around 400 megawatts of total output. Our plans are based on up to 4 projects between now and 2020, including up to 2 post-combustion projects and up to 2 pre-combustion projects. The pre-combustion demonstration projects are expected to have 100% CCS on their coal capacity from day one. The post-combustion projects will be expected to retrofit CCS to 100% of their capacity within 5 years of 2020, enforced by the Environment Agency, with a review to confirm this by 2018. If we conclude at that time that CCS will not be proven, we believe further regulatory measures will be required to restrict emissions from these plants, such as through an emissions performance standard. But even with the right regulation, Mr. Speaker, if we leave the funding of CCS simply to private companies, it won't happen in time. To make CCS financially viable, our proposed energy bill contains powers to introduce a levy announced in the budget by the Chancellor to support demonstration. And responding to points made in the consultation, the levy will also be available to support the move to 100% of retrofit of carbon capture and storage. Taken together, these policies are the most environmentally ambitious set of coal conditions of any country in the world, and they provide the opportunity for Britain to create thousands of jobs in carbon capture and storage throughout our country.